name is Berry, and today we are going to be watching 1,000 mosquitoes versus blood. For some reason, mosquitoes love to bite me. I'm a little sweet, I guess. Very pure and say so. So, let's see what happens when they get an entire pool of blood.
Right now, the mosquito eggs we have are dormant, but all they need to hatch is a bit of water. The second a dry mosquito egg touches water, the embryos inside absorb it and basically come to life. And
oh. A long time ago, I had this pool of water in my backyard because I was playing Mario under the water and it was kind of fun. And I left it out and it bred like 9,000 mosquitoes that swarmed my house like the rude sandstorm. That's why they need the water to escape their home?
literally within only a few minutes of adding in the water, check out this area right here. A tiny little white speck started to poke out from the top of this single egg.
I mean, come on, he's bigger than average. We don't gotta call him a tiny little speck. The worst he can say is no, I guess.
Everyone, this is a mosquito larva, also known as a wiggler. And yeah, you could probably...
Like that mother sucker from Mario! Wait, that's adorable!
Tell why they're called wigglers based on how much they wiggle. But over the next few days, this will eat food and literally evolve into a fully grown mosquito. It will actually be one of the craziest things you'll ever see. Oh, but yeah, I almost forgot. We don't just have one. We have 1,000 mosquitoes that we're gonna be raising.
Can you buy mosquitoes online? I mean, I'm not going to. I'm not looking to, like, pocket mosquito people. Wait! I just thought of something. What if you bought a mosquito, then he learned to love you, and you put, like, a little leash on him, and you could walk him around and get him to, like, suck the blood of your enemies? Is that possible? That would be pretty cool.
And only a minute later, another wiggler started to wiggle out, then another, and soon enough, this tank was starting to get overrun with our new pets. I have to be so careful in this video. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. Literally 1,000 mosquito larvae are right here. But if we want them to turn into real mosquitoes, there's a couple things we gotta do to speed up their growth process. Of course, starting with feeding them. And I don't even know what these things eat. I mean, they're practically microscopic.
I think maybe they eat, like, I don't know, other bugs? Or maybe, like, frogs? They just, like, suck them? I actually have no idea. And I think somebody in chat just said only the women suck blood, and I guess the guys just kind of, like, do barrel rolls in the air and stuff. I don't know, they just live their best life.
At this stage, yeah. I mean, I guess let me just search, what do mosquito larvae eat? Enter, and it looks like they eat microscopic organic matter. Oh, I actually have an idea of how I could do this. This is fish food. Yeah, not super special, but for when the larvae are this small, it works perfectly to crush up into tiny little pieces. And immediately after dropping in some of this crushed food, it sank down to the bottom for the larvae to start eating. Since the larvae were just born about an hour ago, they're still so unbelievably small that it's just so hard to see, but you can kind of make out the shape of its mouth if you look very closely right here. It's insane how there's a brain and actual life in something this tiny.
Yeah, I don't know. I really kind of want to see what I could maybe grow. Maybe instead of a bunch of mosquitoes, we could try to, like, have baby worms. And then we can grow a baby worm on stream, and then maybe we could name him, and, like, I could teach him to play video games with me. Feed him some Doritos. That would be really fun.
Anyways, you can see they tried to eat most of this food, but it's still a bit big. So once it dissolves into the water, it'll become even easier for these guys to eat it. But things get fun quickly, because these wigglers more than double in size every 24 hours.
Damn.
So I have a feeling if we come back tomorrow, these guys are going to be a lot bigger. Good morning, TerraGreeners. I just woke up. The mosquitoes are probably bigger now. I haven't really checked, though.
They look the same
I haven't
to
even
me.
zoomed in yet, and wait, you can literally see. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you can't tell by this footage, the larvae are so much bigger now.
Do you think they get bored? Like, they're just, like, crowding in the corner, just, like, I don't know, dancing. But, I mean, you can't dance forever. At some point, you're gonna want to know what a cheeseburger tastes like.
And when I turned on my camera to record them in detail, I was amazed by how much they grew literally overnight. The day before, this was the most zoomed in footage I could get of these guys. But now, the larvae almost filled up the entire frame, and look at how much more detailed they are. This black bulb at the bottom is their heads, and they're so big already, we can make out their mouth a lot easier, and we can even see their tiny little eyes. These guys are so cool, because you can literally see how their mouth works as a little boat motor, essentially. And
Is that what he's doing? He's like, he's like, nah, nah, boo, boo.
you can just use it to slowly drift among the water surface.
Whoa, 300 miles an hour.
Sometimes they'll even curl up and start sucking up microscopic food particles from the surface.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought that was going somewhere else. I mean, if the girls suck the blood, the guys gotta be sucking something else. They gotta be bored out of their damn minds.
Okay, well, this video is all about doing the funnest experiments with the mosquitoes. So next up, I want to test their light instincts. Because if you didn't know, adult flying mosquitoes are insanely attracted to light. I mean, they'll just swarm light at night. But I was...
Oh, I get it now. That's why the mosquitoes come to me. I flashbang them because the only tan I ever get is from my monitor.
I was wondering if that instinct starts when they are babies.
Well, to figure it out, I turned off all the lights in my garage and watched what they did. Pretty quickly, the larvae actually started to rise to the surface way more. If you remember, most of the larvae were spending most of their time together, sort of near the bottom of the tanks when the lights were on. But yeah, with the lights off, they all like to be on the surface, apparently.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. But now what I want to do is take this super bright studio light and position it pointing right at the side of the enclosure. So that way we can turn it on. Oh, there we go.
Oh, my eyes!
Yeah, let's see.
And literally the second after turning on this light, like magic, the larvae started to migrate away from it. And they all started to gather up on the right side as far away from the light as possible.
Wait, so these guys are moving away from the light.
Yeah, they're trying to sleep. Damn, man, I was taking a nap. What? You're messing with my mosquito siesta.
Huh, that's interesting. The fully grown mosquitoes, they'll completely swarm light. But when they're larvae, they will completely avoid it.
So to confirm my theory, I turned off this light and moved it over to the right side. And immediately, the larvae did exactly what I thought they would. And they went back to the left side. Since I could kind of control where they were, I thought it'd be funny to kind of just swap the lights on and off on each.
I thought it'd be funny to traumatize them. Show them a little bit of the real world.
Each side and, you know, make them do some exercise. Listen, okay, I gotta train some strong, capable mosquitoes for when I put them up against a pile of blood. It's gonna be so interesting.
Dang, that is actually so cool to watch how they do that. And apparently they do this because they don't want to get eaten by fish, of course. And if they're in the darkness, then it's obviously harder for the fishes to see them. But actually, very interestingly, while I was doing that last test, if I go and stir the floor around like that and zoom in, you
What do you mean you gave him a swirly? It's a mosquito dado, my god.
see there's tons of what almost looks like just dead mosquito larvae that is just drifting around in the water. Now, I got worried for a second. I thought something was going around killing all the mosquitoes. But don't worry, I actually figured out that these are not dead mosquito larvae.
You see, what these are actually the old skin of our current larvae. You see,
ew! Wait, so they're just like shedding everywhere? That is nasty. Take a bite. Let's make sure.
These guys apparently shed off their old skin 4 times before becoming a flying mosquito. Basically, just like how other animals will molt their skin off when it's time to grow bigger.
So, of course, now that I know that, for the next experiment, I gotta see if I can capture on camera a shot of them molting. Basically, what I'm gonna do is go and move my lights back to the, the back of the enclosure. And basically, that's gonna cause all the larvae to go and swim to the front. And then I can just leave my camera running for like 24 hours, and surely I can capture at least one of these guys molting to get that shot for you guys.
So yeah, I recorded this for like 2 hours, and after thoroughly reviewing all of the footage, none of the larvae actually shed their skin.
They were just a little shy, Maybe you should ask some opening questions first. Then they'll be a little more vulnerable.
Fortunately. But obviously, I was not going to give up. So I spent hours actively recording with my camera, watching every single larvae at the water surface. Apparently, they only molt out their skin when they're hanging upside down from the top. And after about 2 hours, I found this larva. You can tell he was about to molt by the fact that he was hanging upside down for a pretty long time without moving. And every now and then, he would try and twitch to squeeze out of his old skin. If you look very closely right here, you can see his old skin starting to slide up and off. And this white part right here is his new skin underneath. But after watching this guy for like another hour, all of a sudden he just started to float down and...
Oh no. He's dead! He didn't like all the eyes on him! He died!
He fell all the way to the floor and completely stopped moving. Yeah, apparently the molting process is actually really grueling for mosquitoes, and there's a chance that they can use all their energy while doing it and die, which...
And they have to do that 4 times? Imagine going through this shit 4 times just for me to smack you and you die. All of the trials and tribulations for nothing.
I guess just happened to this guy. Rest in peace, bro. But of course, this was not gonna stop me because I kept recording for longer and longer until I eventually caught this footage. Keep in mind, this is literally the first footage on the internet of a mosquito larvae molting because of how hard it is to catch. So you can't complain about how trash this footage quality is. But anyways, you can see it started to shake violently and it started to slide out of its old skin. This dark part is his new skin. And eventually, he was able to fully slide out and only his molt was left behind.
Whoa.
It's so cool to watch this happen. And after it does, the new larvae swims away and leaves the old skin behind, which that
Super
skin will
Saiyan.
probably get eaten by another larvae very soon for some protein.
Let's go. I'm so happy we just got to see that. But in fact, I just spent so long trying to get that shot that almost all of our larvae now are pretty much fully grown. Meaning, yes, we're about to have 1,000 mosquitoes hatching in just a matter of days.
They put a lid on! What is this? He's got free-range mosquitoes?
And about that, it would be extremely illegal and just really bad if a mosquito escaped.
Yeah, can you imagine you go over to this dude's house? He's like, hey, you want to come watch a movie? Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't mind the giant wave of mosquitoes. You can move it to the side. It's okay. They don't mind. They're chill.
Alone 1,000 mosquitoes. So I have a feeling it's time we build some sort of containment system. Oh, man.
Now, thankfully, I had this big tank sitting in my garage, which would actually be a perfect fit to put over our current tank. So when the mosquitoes hatch, they won't be able to just fly away. But obviously, there's a big opening on the bottom, which would be bad if we had to move this. All the mosquitoes would get out. So what I did was put our current tank in here while the big one was sideways. And then I got this piece of clear acrylic that I'm going to be able to attach to the front.
And when I attach this piece of acrylic, it's going to make sure no mosquitoes can get out. But you're probably wondering why I got all these massive holes right here. Well, what I'm going to do is this. And as you can see, I just put mesh in each of the corners so, you know, air can get in. But
Do you think at any point he's like, maybe this was not a good idea? Like, why couldn't I do this with, like, puppies? 1,000 puppies versus 1 liter of peanut butter. That would have been a little bit more fun.
I left this hole open in the middle so I can put a little door here so we'll be able to put stuff in, but mosquitoes won't be able to get out.
It's pretty simple to make though, because all we gotta do is attach this little sleeve contraption I made and put a clamp on the end.
Basically how it works is if you want to put your arm inside, you go ahead and take off the safety clamp like that. And basically what you do is while you're holding it still, you gotta carefully stretch your arm inside, and then boom, when it's around your arm, it's very airtight and you can go ahead and put your arm inside. And you see I have access to here and the mosquitoes won't be able to get out, and it's
Is that how he's gonna feed them? Your dinner is here.
very easy to go and take my arm out, keep it shut, and then I can go and put the clamp back on.
And after I had my dad silicone the acrylic on, boom, this containment system is done. But guys, there's actually something I didn't tell you about these mosquitoes. In their life cycles, there's a whole nother stage of life before becoming mosquitoes that lasts about a day. And when I came back the next day to my tank, I noticed they were already entering it.
Oh my gosh, guys, look at what I just saw.
Whoa. This is the stage where they just jork off all day and play World of Warcraft. Then they come out and they get their dinner, and then they go back to their room and they eat it there in silence.
A look at the larvae in here. You see these little circular things swimming around next to the actual larvae? Those are the pupae, and that means they're about to hatch.
You see, these pupae are also called tumblers because, well, they tumble down when they sense potential danger nearby. But the coolest thing is how these guys look. They
look like shrimp. I mean, it's not any shrimpler than that. That was so bad.
got these weird, scary-looking eyes. They got
Those are his eyes? Wait, I thought the eyes were on the top. Whoa, they're like little slits. Maybe they can see like 360. They got that Naruto ability or whatever.
little horns that act as snorkels for oxygen. And of course, they look way different from a larva with that cool shrimp-shaped body. And if you're wondering how it looks when a larva turns into a pupae, well, this awesome footage from Backyard Bugs shows it. Basically, the skin splits at the thorax area, and very similarly to how the larvae molt, the new pupae will slide out, and yeah,
it just looks so painful. Like, every single stage of life sucks.
pretty amazing.
Yes, sir. These guys are so cool, but we haven't even got to see the coolest part where they literally crawl out the pupae, and it's like an alien movie. It's crazy. But yeah, I don't think that shot's gonna be too hard to get because we're on like day 8, and check what has just started to hatch. Yep.
The first mosquito. Oh my god, do you think he feels cool as shit? Like he's like the first guy in there. Like, oh, look at this. New build, new build.
That is a mosquito, meaning there's like 3 mosquitoes in here right now, so it shouldn't be long till we have much more.
You see, the pupae get darker and darker as they get closer to turning into a mosquito. So since this pupae is bright white, I know he won't be hatching anytime soon, but these pupae here are extremely dark, meaning the mosquito is right under that skin, ready to crawl out.
So to make the shot even easier to get, I'm gonna stuff all of the darkest pupae up into this little pipette and put them in this container to make it easier to record.
Now, since the mosquitoes have already started to hatch, I actually had to use the door I made to get my hand inside so they wouldn't escape, and I used my little pipette to start sucking up as many of the dark pupae as I could. Then
this is literally torture. Being filmed 24/7, then getting sucked up into a pipe and having no idea where you're going. After this was also, mind you, after the tornado swirlies, and like I'm sure he probably like fisted them a couple times.
I put them into a temporary container and I started to film. Thankfully, the pupae hatched within only a few hours of turning black, so it was literally only about an hour of recording till I caught this on camera. Out of nowhere, this pupa here started to straighten out its tail. This makes a little tunnel here for the head of the mosquito to start squeezing out. It's so nasty, but you can see how this area here just keeps inflating. The mosquito is literally being born in front of our eyes, and you can see how it's leaving the clear pupa skin behind. All of a sudden, his little mouth pops out here that they use to suck blood, and soon after, you can see his wings popped out as well.
Oh my
Look at how he stood up. He's like Dracula.
gosh, guys, this is insane. Wait, this is happening right now.
Finally, the legs stop sticking to the body, and bada bing, bada boom, that's how a mosquito is born. They'll basically stand here for like half an hour while they wait for their body and wings to harden up.
Unfortunately, I am not allowed to just let this guy fly out. Yeah, when you hatch mosquitoes in your house, it is just illegal to let them escape. So
He's got like FBI surveillance. Hey, you let one go? Was that you? Yeah, you're coming with me. You're actually gonna be, you know, in the same cell as Shakira Flabbergasted. Don't worry, she's a nice lady.
I'm gonna try and move him into this tank, but if I can't do it, I do have this.
Oh, he's strapped! Okay, never mind, he's fine.
Here.
But thankfully, I didn't have to use that since it was super easy to just grab it with tweezers and let it loose in the containment system. Mosquitoes, bro, that was one of the coolest things I have seen.
Well, guys, it's been another few days, and I'm proud to say we have 100+ mosquitoes now. I mean, we got tons just flying around. We got even more just sitting all over the glass. And that's not even to mention all the mosquitoes just hiding around.
Do you think it would be cool if you like set up an iPad and they watch like Mosquito Cocomelon? I think they would maybe like that.
Now, I can test these guys with my last 2 mosquito experiments, starting with sticking my hand inside of the tank of mosquitoes.
But in addition to my hand,
Maybe they'll recognize him as like their father. So they won't bite him because they're like, thank you for giving us life.
going in there, I've also got a couple kinds of mosquito repellent. So we can test if these things actually work. I am definitely about to get bit.
So I started to apply the first mosquito repellent to my...
Sorry, choking. They haven't even tasted blood yet. Oh my god, this is gonna be like giving them drugs. They're gonna get high as hell, and then they're gonna realize they love the taste, and then eventually they're gonna start eating each other. And then they're gonna eat me! Oh my god!
arm by spraying it. You see, mosquitoes are insanely attracted to the scent and heat of human skin, but somehow the spray stuff completely blocks all of those and messes with the mosquito senses.
Theoretically, when I stick my hand in there, I shouldn't get bit. Well, I guess let's just do this.
And as I stuck my hand in, I got very nervous. I hate mosquito bites.
Wait, can't you get like malaria? Or is that like Pokérus? Like it doesn't really affect that many of them, but once it affects one, it kind of spreads? Oh, this is kind of diabolical then.
They're flying very close, but yeah, I don't think they can even sense that this is a hand right now.
Yeah, I literally left my hand in there another 30 seconds and not a single even landed on it. But normally they would definitely be swarming it.
Dang, this stuff works good. If you need some mosquito repellent, I recommend this brand. It's not sponsored or anything, but it's pretty good. But now the second mosquito repellent I want to test.
You know what? I would want him to test like those bracelets. Do you think they work? Like they'll make the bracelets where like, oh, you can wear it and then the mosquitoes don't attack you at all. Like, why? Do they respect the ice? The swag?
You see this app right here? This app claims to literally make a sound that will repel mosquitoes. Oh, do you hear that? It's like a high-pitched buzz. Okay, well, let's see if this works.
Now, I've heard these apps are myths, but as I put my hand inside, the mosquitoes weren't instantly swarming it. In fact, they were acting kind of similar to earlier when I was testing the spray stuff, even though I had thoroughly washed it all off my hand. Maybe these apps actually do work.
Dude, that noise right there, actually, I started entering my hag era, and I knew it because they put this sound outside of busy places in Japan, like stores and stuff, so kids don't just, like, stand around and yap and, like, I don't know, do kid stuff. So all the kids are like, ah! I went outside the store the last time, and I only barely heard it. I was like, oh, no. I'm losing it. I'm aging out of the beep noise.
That was until I found this when I took my hand out.
Okay, for a second, I thought this app actually worked. Let me turn off this ear-piercing sound. But then I realized I actually got bit, like, right there. I can definitely feel it. It's starting to itch and stuff. Don't use these apps, guys. I can assure you they are fake, but I guess this stuff kind of does work.
Anyway.
Most of the time, I can tell by a UI of an app if it sucks. Like, that just looked like it was basically like an ad farmer.
Now it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Mosquitoes versus blood.
And yes, I actually have a jar of blood from a cow.
Whoa! Okay, well, let's be positive about this.
Oh my gosh.
Now, in order to make this have a chance to work, I had to fill up this little container with a bunch of blood, and then I put some saran wrap on top. This way, the mosquitoes could stick their little mouthpiece through it and get filled up with blood if they're hungry. Finally, I just warmed it up in the microwave so it would recreate the temperature that mosquitoes like, and I...
Okay, I just looking at his microwave. I know he had to clean that before he took that shot. I'm just letting you know now, my microwave is disgusting. And I probably should. Maybe that was just a self-report. Maybe he just has a clean microwave, my bad.
Put it inside the tank. Let's see what these mosquitoes do. Now, for the first, like, 20 minutes, pretty much none of the 100 mosquitoes were interested. They were kind of just hiding around and not moving much. So I kept trying tons of new stuff, like...
No, you gotta put human blood in there. They know. They're bougie.
Dimming the lights because apparently mosquitoes don't like to eat under the bright light. And after trying so much stuff and recording for hours, not a singular mosquito tried to eat this blood. In this cool footage, you can see mosquitoes literally only take a couple seconds to land on an arm and...
Look at how big that ass gets. That mosquito got a BBL. And it just keeps expanding.
Get completely filled up with blood. But for some reason, they only like to drink blood from arms and not just liquid blood, apparently, like we have here.
Okay, maybe you could, like, go to the store. Get, like, one of those big, like, meat tubes. Then put, like, simulated skin on top that they use in, like, tattoo shows. Wrap it around. Then... put it in the thing, and they'll be simulated to be drinking from an arm, and they would enjoy it. I think that would be a good idea. Or buy a pig's leg. That's a good idea, too.
Really, all the mosquitoes had gathered up on the other side of the enclosure to avoid it.
Yeah, I literally just tried to record this for 2 days. None of the mosquitoes were interested. I didn't want to have to not upload the video just because the last experiment failed. The whole point of the channel is to get crazy animal ideas and see if they're actually possible. Unfortunately, this one wasn't, but all the other experiments were, and we got to learn all about the mosquito life cycle, which was just so interesting to watch, so I had to upload this. Hopefully you guys learned something new and were entertained. And
yeah, that was awesome.
About these mosquitoes, I had to buy this massive freezer to terminate the colony, because that's just legally required.
Wait, what? He put them in the cryo chamber? Oh my... If you have... Can you breed mosquitoes at your house? Yes, mosquitoes can breed. No, I know that they have sex. I'm asking, am I allowed to make a mosquito army? Laws around mosquito pets. It says it's unregulated. Intentional breeding is generally discouraged or prohibited by local nuisance. There we go.
After filming with mosquitoes to ensure none of them escape. So I'm gonna get to doing that, guys, but I guess see you later. Goodbye.
Oh, thank you. Oh. Thank you so much for watching. I super appreciate it. Please take all of the notes that you took today on mosquito farms and do not make it at home. If you're new here, remember to subscribe. Please check out the original and come by the Twitch stream to the T4/BerryCrepe. Or you can use code Berry for 10% off your Game Subs order. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Goodbye, YouTube. That was cool.